let's give these puppies a break. Can I borrow a bill from somebody?
There
we go. Great. Thank you. I've actually been studying something that I know a few people that study it, but it's not that popular. It's called origami. And I've learned a very strange thing. And I'd like to show it to you. If you don't mind, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to rip your bill into two pieces, but I'm going to put a small tear in the bill just for this experiment, if you don't mind. Is that okay, sir? Thank you. I'll take that as a no. In fact, I'm going to put it somewhere along the length of the bill, and in fact, I want you to determine that. So, you know what, I'll just run my finger, just say stop.
Stop.
Right here?
Yep.
I'm going to bring it right down, so we'll tear it right there. Okay? Check it out. Just a little tear. Okay? In fact, I know everyone can see it, but this is kind of an experiment, so I just want to make absolutely sure that even the people in the back can see where that tear is. So you know what? I'm just going to put a little kind of circle around it so you can see that. Okay? So can you guys see that tear in there? You can see it, yeah? Even the people in the back. Now this is where I studied origami. This is very strange. But through the art of paper folding, I can actually cause that tear to move. In fact, it's over here, so I'm going to have it move to the other. Well, here, just say stop again.
Stop.
Right about here. I'm going to have, that's the test condition, I'm going to have, as ludicrous as it sounds, I'm going to have the tear travel from there to this spot where you said stop. Watch. So the art of origami, just by folding it. And watch the bill, make sure it does not leave your sight. Watch. Just by folding and unfolding. The art of origami. This is really weird. Check it out. I know this looks very strange, but look at that. Where that tear used to be, come in really close. There is no tear. It has traveled to the other place where you decided. I'm going to leave you with that as a souvenir. Okay. Here's the trick. To do this, you're going to need a couple of things. You need two bills, actually one bill, and a thumb tip. I actually don't use the thumb tip anymore. I use a pinky tip. It's a little big, but it does the trick. In fact, I could even wear it on my thumb. It's pretty cool. You need a thumb tip. So here's what you do. You're going to take one bill, which you want it in fairly, how can I say this, normal condition. You don't want necessarily an extra crisp bill. You don't want an extra worn out bill. You want a bill that 98% of the time when you get change back from the store, that's the bill you get. So a bill that's in normal condition. So it'll match pretty much most bills handed to you. You're going to take a little Sharpie. I have one in my pocket. And you're going to put a little, kind of a little U over there marking where the tear was, and a little tear about 3/4 of the way from the left side to the right, my left to my right. That's it. That's your preparation. This now goes into a thumb tip, a la Kozlowski Bill Switch, which I believe you have seen on this DVD over 17,000 times at this moment. Now, you're going to borrow a bill. I'm going to use this one because I don't have another one on me right now. But you're borrowing a clean bill at this point. Okay? Now here's what I do. I tell them I learned this strange art of origami, and I'm going to show them a strange experiment. At this point, when you tell people you're going to show them a strange experiment, they suddenly become interested, as opposed to going, let me show you a trick. They suddenly become sleepy. The experiment issue, kind of like, what experiment? Well, let's see this. So here you go. You say, what I'm going to do is I'm not going to tear your bill in half, but I'm going to put a little tear in the bill. I'm just a little rip. And if you get them to say yes, that's cool. Most people will say yes, even just out of strictly not wanting to be embarrassed in front of the other people. And no one really cares, as long as you put a little rip. And you mention. Now, what I like to do is I like to stress where the rip is going. I like it to make it as if it's a free choice. So I'm using a psychological force that I first saw Max Maven use. I don't know, it probably goes way back in psychological forces, but I remember seeing Max Maven do it with a fan of cards, and I remember being very badly fooled by it. And I think it's really powerful. And what it is, it's really just a timing force. If you try this, go home, get a bill, place your finger here, and do this. You'll find that you develop a rhythm. Okay. Now, if you go quickly like this and ask someone to say stop, generally, depending on your rhythm, people say stop after a beat of 2 or 3, or 1 or 2 in this case. You'll get a feel for it. Move your finger across. If you do it slow enough, you're going to get, and if you do it slow enough, you're going to get a rhythm like the riffle force with cards, like the drop riffle force. You kind of look at them and you anticipate where they're going to say stop. And you go slowly till right about here. Generally, they will say stop. This is a timing thing. I'm not sure how else to explain it. You have to go out and try it. We'll try it with Jay here. Jay, just say stop.
Stop.
See? Boom. Now, you notice I'm not exactly on the rip here. This is another key point I'm going to mention. Don't keep your finger very close to the bill doing the psychological force, because when you're off here, you're off. The higher up you keep your finger, just say stop.
Stop.
Now I purposely try to do a little off. Notice I can bring my finger down and cheat a bit and come down to around here. Okay? So that's the idea. The higher up you are, the more you can get away with a little cheat. Plus, they don't really care. You just go around here. They don't know what's about to happen.
I guess you can share the cheat too, not just with your finger, but with your right hand as well.
Absolutely.
It can be backing up as a little forward.
Yeah,
okay.
Thank you for saying that. I was trying to mention that as I moved my hand. Absolutely. Thank you, Dave Acker. Now the idea, Jay Sankey. The idea here is to, so again, just say stop while I'm along the bill.
Stop. I didn't know it. Sorry.
Okay. So right about there, you rip the bill. You put a little tear in it. Okay. At this point, you say, in fact, for the people in the back, so that you can see exactly where the tear is, I'm going to put a little ring around it. You draw a little, with your Sharpie, you draw a little ring around it. Okay? Now, notice this is the same place you put it on the bill on your thumb tip. You then say, now I'm going to try something weird. I'm going to try to move that tear. In fact, I'm going to let you just say stop. Notice the wording here. I'm going to let you decide. In fact, when I said it, I didn't even complete the word decide. I said, in fact, I'm going to let you decide. Look. And I moved on to the next sentence because I kind of wanted them to know I wanted them to decide, but I didn't want it to be definite. Like, oh, I'm going to move it to where I want, so I'm going to let you decide. Well, here. They're not really sure what's happening here. You're confusing them a little bit, but ask them just to say stop.
Stop.
Same force, but now you force here. So you say, as ludicrous as this sounds, I'm going to try and get the tear to go from here to here, where you wanted it to. So watch. Through the art of origami, paper folding. You do the bill switch, which was explained many times before. Unfold it. And when you unfold it, to their amazement, the little circle is still there, the tear is gone. The tear has traveled to exactly where they wanted it to. And you leave them with a very memorable souvenir. And it is their bill. At least it was at the beginning. But because of what happened, they do believe it's their bill and they keep it. I will mention this, when Jay and I have been fooling around with this, Jay and I kind of battled back and forth over this issue. Should you force where it's torn, should you not? And we both had our pros and cons for it. So we do both agree that if you're not into this forcing thing, it's not necessary. You could just say, look, I'm going to put a little rip in your bill. Just rip it. And say, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cause the rip to travel, let's say, to the other side of the bill. So watch. In fact, sometimes I don't even know where the rip is going to travel. And you fold it up, do the same thing, unfold it, and now show that the rip has traveled here, it is no longer here, and you give it to them. If you don't want to go through the psychological forces. So that's it. Thanks.